because I know there's a lot of highlights in there, so it'd be interesting to see what your most satisfying race was.
I mean, the Ironman was very satisfying because it was like I came full circle. Like that's how I got into triathlon, was Ironman Louisville, and then about 4 years, 2 months later, I had done it was my second Ironman, my professional debut. So to win the race was deeply satisfying. Just the entire time I reflected on how far I've come in 5 years' time. It was really just like a spiritual journey for 7-8 hours. But I would say the most satisfying was in Racine. Andrew Starkowicz, if you don't know him, he was in the race, and he's the world record holder on the bike. And so he's a much better swimmer than I am too. So anyways, I lost time in the swim, then I lost another 5 minutes on the bike, and I came off the bike 8 minutes down. And he's a good runner. He's not like a class runner. So I mean, I had the entire time I was like, second place is good, like there's nothing wrong with second place. It was the biggest prize money race I'd ever been in and all that stuff. So the entire time I just went out there and said, I'm going to do my best, and whatever happens, happens. And the time was coming down, and I think at the third turnaround, and this is kind of personal, don't tell anyone I told you this, but he does this kind of hand thing to me at the last turnaround, almost like, good try. And I was like, I'm not that far behind. Like at this point, I think I was only about 1.5 minutes down with 4 kilometers to go. So I made about 6.5 minutes in that initial part. Anyways, I ended up catching him at 12.5 miles, and when I went by him as hard as I possibly, like I sprinted as hard as I possibly could. And so that was the most satisfying race.